Hello all, it's Jmix here, and I'd like all my YouTube subs and viewers to check out Benza's new podcast called Fame is a Bitch. You can check out the first couple episodes if you hit this link right here, which will also be in the description, but I highly encourage you guys to get it on Google Play, get the app, tune in, and listen. For those who want the inside information on some of the most scandalous celebrity events, I think this podcast is going to be for you. So be sure to get it on Google Play and support Benza. Without any further ado, here's the next installment.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
I made my bones. I made my bones as a journalist and as a stand-up guy because I went with those guys toe-to-toe from start to finish. Whatever the they wanted, I was with them. And that's why when Tupac was shot up, I got into the hospital room with Mickey. His mom, Afeni Shakur, gave me a hug and said, go up, see my son, take care of my boy, It was very surreal. Very surreal. And then when Mickey really wanted to clear things up with Cariotis, who he did Wild Orchid with, Tupac was hell-bent on trying to make that girl love him again. And there's a great night at Club USA in Manhattan where Tupac got off the balcony, bought some bottles of champagne, gave it to Carrie, grabbed those two together and said, you guys love each other, it's all love, be together. And they got back together and they put the differences aside. So, Tupac was a really special dude who he really wanted people to love each other. I know everybody wants to think he's a badass and he wore the bulletproof vest and, he was like, F this and F that. Yeah, but more than anything, love came first. Really. Love came before any violence. That's what people don't really get. Because it's better on TV shows to promote how badass and how tough and, bulletproof vest and you and, making gang signs. That's not who he was. He was a pacifist. That's what motivated him. Honestly, I swear to God, that's what motivated him.
That's huge. That's huge. You
can't write music that beautifully. You can't write Brenda's Got a Baby. You can't write all that stuff and be angry. He was angry, but you've got to have a soft spot for women, for society. You've got to be soft to write that shit. And I was subjected to that soft side. I saw it on a nightly basis.
Did you know the dudes that he was hanging around with that time? Jack Ignat.
I remember Jack. Yeah, I do. There was I actually got pictures sent in the mail to me anonymously, and somebody wrote me an anonymous letter that Tupac's hanging out with. There's guys around Tupac that are no good, and I took the pictures to Tupac, and I remember he was, hell bent on Haitian Jack. He was hell-bent on this guy's no good. And this is a bad thing. This is way early on, and maybe he had a reason to think that Haitian Jack was a bad dude, and I'm sure he was. But as we move on, we understand that the bigger picture of Suge and Death Row and Reggie Wright, that was a much bigger picture. And as smart as Tupac was, I don't think he understood that bigger picture. I really don't. I think he was so focused on music and putting out the best he could and making money and trying to get himself out from under that contract that he lost sense of the bigger picture, which was the real bad guy was Suge and Reggie Wright, and you might get caught in the crossfire. and that's what we found out recently. But people like me, we knew years ago that might end up being the cause of his demise. But back in the day, Haitian Jack, he was viewed as a bad guy. He is a bad guy. He was a bad guy. But that's not what took him down. Not in the end, what took him down was, Reggie Wright's affiliation with Death Row and trying to wrestle the business out from Suge, and very intricate shit with crooked cops in Compton and L.A. It's really bad crooked shit.
What do you think of the narrative that is the Orlando Anderson theory and its rise in popularity?
Well, I think it's
Occam's razor, the easiest explanation. Do you think it's?
Well, I think Orlando Anderson is a scapegoat. It's easy. It's the easiest thing for people to put their eyes on and say yes. Oh my God, it's so obvious. I get it. But if you're a seasoned journalist and if you're a street kid, which I like to think I'm both, you kind of go, okay, that's the first scenario. Thank you, but I'll keep looking. And Orlando Anderson was the first scenario presented, but no, that's something that the people in the know, not the media, but the people in the know knew. This ain't the shit. This ain't it. This ain't it. This is something that set his ass up for the real takedown. But this is not it. This is too simple. But look, there's so many reasons why went bad for Tupac that night. The whole not wearing the vest and being in love with Kidada Jones. There's so many side reasons why his life could have been different and changed. But Suge was a very big presence over his life, a foreboding person, foreboding man, and when you need to pay back a man who, Tupac thought that Suge bailed him out. He thought that Death Row did, but really Interscope did. Interscope just couldn't make that public that they put that money to bail him out. But you know that Interscope put the money up, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Okay.
I've even heard that Madonna helped facilitate that.
Well, he did. Madonna did through Ted Fields and Interscope. Back then, millions of dollars wasn't readily available to an extent, but Madonna wouldn't hear anything different. She wanted to take care of her boy, and she really thought by putting up the bail money to an extent, and not all of it, but some of it, that Tupac would come out of jail and fall into her arms. But he made that known, that I can't. And there you see that letter he sent to her that this will affect my career as a black artist. I can't do this. And I know it hurt him because he really respected her as an artist. And, I'm sure he loved fucking her and what have you. Madonna was Madonna. But there's not an artist right now in music as hot and as sexy as Madonna was in the 90s. There may never be again. I know people look at her and go, she's 58 years old, she's an old lady. Dude, 20 years ago, the shit she was doing is unparalleled. And Tupac, it was very hard for him to say, thanks for the bail, but you got to go. He just couldn't lay in bed with her. And that caused some resentment. But a lot of people don't know that Interscope, the money that was put up to get him out, wasn't Suge. It was Interscope. It was the rich businessmen who did that, not the young, tough black guy smoking cigars. That was a great image, but that's not what it was.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up with Shut Up?